Welcome back to another card review. It's technically a Hearthstone report, but it's, for all intents and purposes, a card review. Again, the cards keep coming. New expansion about to drop really soon. And we have some interesting ones, man. We have some really cool ones that we need to look at. Starting off with...
Plague of Flames.
Plague of Flames. 1 mana Warlock spell that says destroy all your minions. For each one, destroy a random enemy minion. Ooh, boy.
This seems a little strange in that it doesn't quite follow the symmetrical pattern of the whole Plague spells. I mean, it is...
This is a lot of punch for 1 mana. I want to say. So this definitely goes well with cards that we've seen like Reform Scheme. I think this is kind of coming together now. This plus Reform Scheme is insane.
I mean,
this is a full board clear.
You want to go wide, but you want your opponent to have more valuable stuff than you. Yeah. Which is somewhat strange because decks that have a lot of valuable stuff on the board generally don't tend to go as wide as decks that have smaller stuff. But and you don't want to play this in Zoo because you're just killing your entire board.
Yeah, that doesn't seem so valuable. It's a control tool for sure.
Yeah, but again, control decks tend to not go as wide,
and then take them off with the high value minions off the other.
It's by no means bad. I'm just saying that
it's interesting and very powerful if the circumstances arises that allow it to be.
It seems somewhat contradictory to the game, to the deck design, but yeah.
Anubis Sath Defender, 5 mana, 3/5 for the Druid. Taunt, costs 0 if you cast a spell that costs 5 or more this turn.
Spells that cost 5 or more, we've had some of this stuff before.
Yeah. This is also Arcane Tyrant, right? That's what it's called.
Yes.
Like, it's the same card. It's not a 4/4, but it's a 3/5. And it's Druid specific, which it was mostly used in Druid anyway.
And it has Taunt, which makes it arguably better in a deck that runs a lot of big spells. So, I mean, it's a better Arcane Tyrant. Arcane Tyrant was used. I don't see why this wouldn't.
Yeah, we'll see. There's currently not a Druid that does big spells. Like, before we've had the Arcane Tyrant and stuff like a Summoner and those sort of things.
That's true. There would have to be a deck for it, of course, but generally speaking, strength-wise, I think this is a very good card.
Yeah, definitely has potential. 7 mana spell Overflow for Druid. Restore 5 health to all characters. Draw 5 cards.
What does this remind you of?
I've heard that the card actually should be named Ultimate Restoration.
Oh, yeah, it does have parallels to both of those, yes.
It does remind me of Ultimate Infestation. What does it remind you of?
Well, yeah, I was gonna say Ultimate Manifestation as well. So there is also, I believe it's called Tree of Life, which heals all characters to full, but it's not necessarily related.
This doesn't summon a 5, it also doesn't deal 5 damage.
And it only gives you 5 armor in certain circumstances, and it also heals your opponent. It's not nearly as good as Ultimate Eye, but in a control-oriented deck, you're oftentimes less concerned about dealing damage to your opponent.
We also don't want anything close to as good as Ultimate Eye anymore, because we know how that turned out. That card was insane.
But yeah, this has draw, and it stalls a little bit with healing, so I think it's a good card.
Yeah. Micro Mummy, 2 mana, 1/2 for the Paladin, is a mech. With a Reborn at the end of your turn, give another random friendly minion +1 attack.
Noteworthy that this is the first Reborn minion, I believe, that was introduced with a tribe.
Because it's a mech, but it's still a mummy.
But, yeah, no, I'm not saying it isn't. I'm not sure how good this is.
It seems okay. You get
It's Master Swordsmith, but with Reborn.
You get, 2-3 in stats in total, with, 2 attack buff split.
I mean, again...
It could be fine.
Master Swordsmith is the obvious comparison, and no one uses him.
And also, since it's a mech, I'm assuming that if you magnetize on, say, Wargear or something, the whole Wargear gets reborn?
Yes, you have to magnetize the Wargear on this. The question is, I don't think it would retain the buffs.
So not the mech? Why wouldn't it? Because if you magnetize 2 mechs together, one has Death Rattle, the Death Rattle sticks, so why wouldn't the Reborn sticks?
Reborn would happen.
Yeah.
But it would just be a Micro Mummy.
I think so.
Because there is a secret already that compares to it. And this does not have magnetic.
If the mech doesn't take it over, then yes. Yeah.
So you would just get a regular 1/1 Micro Mummy with the effect.
So that's not actually a way to cheat it. Fair enough. Live Wire Lance, 3 mana, 2/2 weapon. After your hero attacks, add a Lackey to your hand.
Interesting.
Seems fine.
You know what's also noteworthy?
What?
There is also a new Lackey.
There's a new Lackey.
There is a new Lackey.
I didn't know there was a new
There's
Lackey.
Titanic Lackey.
Oh.
I said it the first time we reviewed cards for this. They have said during Rise of Shadows there is going to be Lackeys every expansion.
That definitely makes sense. Now, this card, like in the current Warrior meta, not too reasonable because Warrior really doesn't play Lackeys or anything that's not controllable.
Well, but this fits with the quest.
It does fit with the quest because the Lackey can give taunt and it's a small minion and it fits with the overall theme.
I was saying the weapon fits with the quest, and overall the quest and the smaller weapons that we're getting seems to be building towards a different warrior archetype. Probably not going to be played that much during this expansion, but maybe when more pieces fall into place later on.
So Titanic Lackey definitely a more defensive option.
Yeah.
I like that actually. I appreciate it a lot. Because now the chances for aggressive decks are higher to get a or at least there to get defensive Lackey sometimes. Which might be good for control players.
So what you're saying is that in fact this does actually weaken aggro, the addition of the Titanic Lackey.
Very slightly, I think so.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Maybe in aggro versus aggro matchups, this makes it much, much better. It's one of the best, but against control matchups, maybe. Desert Spear, a 3-mana, 1/3 weapon. After your hero attacks, summon a 1/1 Locust with Rush for the Hunter, by the way.
Yes.
If Locusts are beasts, this is pretty good. They are, so this is pretty... I think this is alright.
Yes.
I like it for tempo.
This has a lot of versatility. 3-mana, 1/3 weapon sounds really bad, but...
The question is, though, is it better than Headhunter's Hatchet / Eaglehorn Bow? That's what it's going to be competing with, obviously.
Well, it is probably better than Eaglehorn Bow if you're not running any secrets.
Yeah, of course.
And
but if you're doing
Hatchet,
Headhunter's Hatchet might not be too bad.
Is very comparable, actually. Mm-hmm. Because they both do basically 3 times 2 damage.
But summoning three of the basically the Lynxes.
Yeah, I think
and
that
they have Rush.
I think that the Locusts are more versatile than just the Headhunter's Hatchet. So I think overall this has a slight edge.
Looks like a good card. Next we have a legend for the Warlock, Dark Pharaoh Tikhan. 5-mana 4/4 battle cry for the rest of your game. Your Lackeys are 4/4. Now that reminds me of something.
The Rogue Quest. The post-nerf Rogue Quest, to be specific.
Yes, the post-nerf Rogue Quest.
How do we... Second nerf, I believe that
how
was.
How do we evaluate this one?
Seems strong in the deck that runs enough Lackeys.
Yeah, in Zoo maybe?
I mean...
If you really spam Lackeys, then you get like a lot of 1-mana 4/4s, which is incredible.
Yeah.
So this has the potential to generate a new... Maybe even archetype like Lackey Zoo, where you basically run all Lackey generation.
Yeah, and Warlock has decent amounts of Lackey generation, so I don't see why this would not necessarily be a thing.
Keep your eye out for this card. Vile Fiend, a 2-mana 2/2 neutral demon with lifesteal. Pack filler, basically. Nothing more to say.
It's not horrible. It's not great. It's
5-mana 8/8 Mortuary Machine. Now this one is pretty cool. After your opponent plays a minion, give it Reborn. It's a 5-mana 8/8, so great value, but a significant downside to it.
Well, yes. First of all, it's interesting that every minion has the ability to get Reborn. There's another card that will allow that later.
Yeah,
might give some interesting interactions, but more importantly, of course. This is very overstated. Ideas like Silence Priest would probably like this card.
This card is based on Fel Reaver, if I'm not mistaken, with the same stats, tribe, and negative effect. Is it better or worse than Fel Reaver? We'll find out. Fel Reaver was terrible.
I think the downside is weaker than Fel Reaver, which is to say that this card is better than Fel Reaver.
Yeah.
But also, again, outside of Silence, I'm not sure how much you want to run this, because...
As soon as your opponent plays a good minion on this is bad. So I can see that this is not going to be consistent unless there's a way to cheat around the negative effect. If so, then you get 3/3 stats for free, which would be really good, but as of now, I don't really see it being right.
It being a mech in a world where Magnetize is around might be a slight advantage as well.
5-mana 8 damage to the face?
Because you can...
As a finisher, maybe.
You can get like a Skaterbot on there or something to give it a rush.
I mean, you could play Coppertail Imposter on 9 and then push 2 of those guys on there on the next turn. Wait, no, they don't.
They don't have magnetic.
That's the problem, right? You have to stick this first.
And there is no magnetic that gives charge. It's just rush.
Yeah, so that's actually a big problem. So if you can stick this, then obviously you get the downside to it. So no, this is not good. Then I don't.
Yeah, I don't think this is good. Again, if Silence Priest, for the people that want to play Silence Priest, which is never been great.
Maybe if like you discover it off of Dr. Boom or something, and then you just have a big thing you need to take down. for an 8/8 rush for 5 mana, this is pretty good. This is like a...
Also, just generally late game when your opponent's top decking, and you discover this, and it's not horrible.
In that specific scenario, it might be a slightly better Dynomatic, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Shadow of Death, 4 mana rogue spell. Choose a minion, shuffle 3 shadows into your deck that summon a copy when drawn.
Seems, once again, like
Slow.
a really strong but way too slow card for rogue.
Yeah.
The problem is they seem to be pushing a control-oriented rogue. But
they could generate pretty good. Like, this could also be sort of the Deathweb guy. What was his name again? The Nubian fella, 4/4 that shuffles the other 4/4s of spiders.
Yes.
I forgot the name, but
Nubian Ambusher?
Maybe, maybe that sort of thing. But that came
That's not right.
with but that came with a 4.
Feldora Strider.
Feldora Strider, obviously. That came with a 4/4 body on 4, which made it still a decent tempo play. This is a spell. This does basically nothing.
You'd want to put this on something big to get the impact when it happens. Kind of similar to a slower version of Dire Frenzy. But again, this doesn't fit with Rogue.
Now here's my opinion, or my idea off the top, right? You basically have no cards in your deck. You play Leroy and this. Next turn you get 7 Leroy, or 2 of those, you get 6 Leroys, and you just go.
Well, yes. Again, I think this is more of a thing that would work better in a control-oriented class. Like, if you had this in Warrior, you would love it.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
I don't necessarily see it as that great in Rogue. Then again, people are always able to come up with crazy shit.
Yeah, we'll see. Bone Wraith, 4 mana, 2/5 with Taunt and Reborn.
I've seen this compared to Sludge Belcher, and I don't disagree.
Yeah, that's actually true, yeah. It's
one less attack, 1 less mana. Yeah. A thing that is summoned has 1 more attack, 1 less health.
Yeah, so pretty cool. Sludge Belcher used to be decent.
Yeah, and
as far as I can tell, Sludge Belcher was a good card.
And this is overall a slightly better Sludge Belcher.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be a good card for decks that are slow enough that they would want it.
Yeah, Taunt stuff, maybe. There's a potential there. Pharaoh Cat, 1 mana, 1/2 beast for the rogue. Battlecry, add a random reborn minion to your hand.
You didn't need to emphasize beast that much.
I gotta emphasize beast every time.
It does not matter, and rogue is the thing.
It doesn't matter. It's a beast. It's a cat. Whenever a minion's a beast, I appreciate that silently. Not silently, because I share it with the world, obviously, but I do appreciate it. Because beast is like my favorite tribe. They're great.
So yeah, this card doesn't seem horrible, but again, it doesn't fit with rogue that well, first of all. And second of all, Reborn cards are way too varied to have any kind of reliability with.
But man, like this is good value. This is like, is this Town Crier? I feel like this is pretty close to Town Crier.
Town Crier has the advantage that you can choose which rush minions to put into your deck.
Yeah, you can tutor something.
The problem with Reborn is that there is big minions with Reborn, there's small minions with Reborn.
Yeah.
And if there was just small minions, this would be great in like a tempo rogue type of idea. But if you get like Titanic Watcher or whatever his name is,
yeah,
or
Guardian of the Moon,
yeah, and stuff like that, it's like
tough. But still, it's a decent drop. First of all, it's a beast. It's a 1/2 for 1 mana, and it gives you a card. It draws you a slightly, maybe even slightly below average card for the deck you're playing, but generally a decent card.
The thing is, right? Compare this with Direwolf, which was really good, and the only thing it's losing is 1 health in favor of getting an advantageous Battlecry.
Now, the 1 health is significant in the aggro strategy, obviously. Especially when, Odd Paladin was around and you had the 1/1s to pick off. But this seems to...
Again, it's not a bad card. I'm just not sure how much use it will actually see.
Tomb Warden, 8 mana, 3/6 for the warrior with Taunt and Battlecry. Summon a copy of this minion.
You know what that reminds me of?
I have a feeling what that reminds you of.
The Twin Emperors.
Yeah. It's a guaranteed Battlecry?
Yeah. It's 6/12 in stats for 8. They're mechs, which is definitely important.
Yes.
I mean, they're probably going to be really good off of Boom as a thing.
Oh yeah, for value, right?
Like Omega Assembly and the Dr. Boom Delivery Tron.
Just get a value thing there.
Are they going to be included in a constructed deck? Strong maybe.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate a big taunt mech. I like it for my purposes. Embalming Ritual, 1 mana priest spell, give a minion reborn.
This seems to have really high potential.
Yeah.
But I just don't see where you would end up using it. Is the problem. Because here's the thing, right? Yes, it's really strong to give any minion reborn, potentially a really strong one. Yeah. Which is what you would want this for. But in the case of Priest, oftentimes you have a lot of very good health buffs, for example, that you would much rather apply, and then we're leaning closer to the OTK strategy again. Like, I don't see where you would want to use this, is the problem.
It's very cheap, so if you play like Big Priest or something?
Yeah, like Wall Priest or something, but the question is, I just don't know.
Valen, Malagos?
Again, it seems really strong. I'm just not entirely sure where it's going to find a place.
If the value sort of priest is there, right? No priest is there, so we don't know where it's going. But if the value priest in any way is there, this is a card that they're going to look at.
Yeah.
Pharaoh's Blessing, 6 mana spell for the Paladin, give a minion +4/+4, Divine Shield, and Taunt. So Blessing for Kings +2 mana for Divine Shield and Taunt.
The question is that worth the 2 mana? The answer is depends on your strategy.
Yeah.
There is 2 good arguments to be made.
First, for aggro, it's never.
No,
because you just want to push, obviously, so you take a cheaper option.
So for a control-oriented strategy, first of all, this allows for a really good trade.
Yeah.
Because you can proc the Divine Shield on your turn. And then having a strong taunt minion in control strategy is also good.
So this could be good in Arena. In Arena, this could be a pretty good card.
Yes, and generally I think this could potentially be a decent card in a control Paladin.
Yeah. And finally, we have Conjured Mirage, 4 mana, 3/10, with Taunt. At the start of your turn, shuffle this minion into your deck.
I really like this card from a game design standpoint.
Yeah.
I don't think it's too great to
If there's no way
played.
to abuse that effect somehow or play around it, it's really not.
Okay, so the idea with the effect is that you're trying to protect yourself for 1 turn.
Yeah. It's Ice Block as a minion.
No, it's evasion as a minion.
Okay, yeah, it's evasion as a minion.
And in that regard, I think it's not good enough. It only has 10 health for 4 mana.
Which is okay.
I mean, that's basically... I mean, the comparison almost is Ice Barrier at that point.
Yeah.
And that's not bad, but there's better options.
It's true.
So... The question is, can you somehow give this charge? That's like the one question I care about.
You want to give a charge?
Yes, I'm going to give a charge.
Why?
Here's why. Divine Spirit, Inner Fire.
That again?
It makes sense. I just don't see how to make it work.
You can like silence it and then use it as a big minion in Priest.
Silence
it gets rid of the taunt,
Priest,
but it gets rid of the effect too. I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, for the Silence/OTK Priest, something akin to the budget Priest that we showcased early on in the Rise of Shadows, this might be a good card because I don't think you have anything with that high of a health total at such a low mana cost.
Yes.
But also, it would be better if you could somehow make it attack on the same turn.
Exactly. So, gotta figure something out with that. That's all the cards that we have for today. Just a quick reminder also, we talked about Tomb Warden. Shudderwook Warriors on, man. We got Sarah Night Chain Gang back in the house, so that's pretty good. Thank you for watching this episode. If someone could pull it off somehow, let me know. It's like there's no reliant way, obviously, to get cards from other classes, but the first person to make the full Shudderwook happen again with getting this in Shaman somehow, I will give a personal shout out to, and you get an honorary role in the Discord.
This will be done in Rogue, I'll have you know.
Sure, let's do it in Rogue.
Because Rogues get cards from another class, not from your opponent's class anymore. So Rogue is arguably the class that is best equipped to get cards from 2 different classes.
Right. So, we'll see. We'll see. But if someone can pull it off, video evidence or picture is enough, send it to me or us personally, TrashcanTV. You'll get an honorary role in our Discord server and a shout out, and you'll be legend forever. Not in Hearthstone, but in our hearts, which is the more important one anyway. Maybe you are in Hearthstone too. Maybe if you make that happen in the game that gets you to legend, boy, we might have to come up with some better prizes there. But thank you for watching this video. Drop a like on it if you happen to enjoy it, and subscribe to TrashcanTV. Also, I mentioned the Discord server. We have one. Link is in the description, and you can go join it. It's fantastic. We have a lot of great people in there, which is always fun to talk with them. And couldn't give enough shoutouts. They're all great. So convince yourself, join the server, and have some fun. Get better Hearthstone together. And we're gonna see you in the next one. JJ.
That's it.
That's it.